Hello, my name is Duke and I'm sailing Magic. Magic is my 2015 Lagoon catamaran. So far I've sailed Magic over 4,000 miles around the Bahamas and the Caribbean. One question that comes up frequently for me is, do you need health insurance when you're sailing around like that? And it's a two-part or three-part answer. More than one kind of health insurance. There's health insurance that will cover your ordinary little prescriptions and things. And for that, I don't think you need health insurance. It's much cheaper in foreign countries usually to buy medications and get treatment than it is in the US. I mean, much cheaper. Of course, that varies also. The other issue is catastrophic insurance. You might want to have catastrophic insurance. It depends on whether you think that the health care in other countries is adequate. And honestly, a lot of these doctors are going to the very same Caribbean medical schools that a lot of American doctors went to. There's many more people trying to become an MD than there are slots in American medical schools. And that doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, they have to sit for the same tests and pass the same things. Your third insurance is what's attached to your boat. The whole thing about insurance is, how did you get the money to buy your boat? Now, if you sold a very expensive house and you put a lot of money in the bank as well as buying your new boat, then you can self-insure. You don't necessarily have to have other insurance. If not, you may want to have that catastrophic insurance just to pick up any big loads. But honestly, if it's something like a broken arm or high blood pressure medication or something simple like that, you're going to find the healthcare in many countries perfectly adequate. Some of them have socialized medicine. You don't pay anything for healthcare. So on to the next thing. In the last episode, I had sailed into St. Martin, which is a French island, in very trying conditions. Rough weather at night, and all that entails. But when I left St. Martin, it was a beautiful day. Cruising past this island that's at the entrance of Marigot Bay, which is where I was anchored most of the time. Had just the mainsail up to start with and was making good time off of that. Had to make the turns before I wanted to put the jib up, the head sail. And once I put the jib up, then I'm pretty much flying along. From St. Martin, it's just a little bit over, and then you go down the Leeward Islands, where the wind is at 90 degrees to your sail. It's perfect sailing weather. So on the way down, first you have to get past Saba. Now, most of these islands are volcanic islands with just a cinder cone left in the middle, and Saba is kind of a perfect example of that. You can see that it just slopes sharply away and drops into the ocean. Saba is not a big island, but that's on your right as you're going down. And then, I don't know how to pronounce this, I'll say Oranjestad is on your left, and it's got some huge fuel storage points there. But once you make that turn and you're going down between these islands, making pretty good time. I was traveling down this area heading towards Grenada, and I had two reefs in the head sail, one reef in the main, and I was still making over 7 knots most of the way down and sailing day and night. So nighttime, as you can see, is that there's not much to see. I can travel by instruments. I have AIS, so I can see other boats on that. I don't have radar, so that gets a little bit tricky. I got to keep my eyes open. So I cover a lot of the instrument panels or turn the light output from them way down so I don't get night blindness. You can see a little bit of things out there as I'm traveling. And dawn again, of course, another beautiful day. That the trade winds here are pretty consistent. If you've got winds hitting you on the beam that are going from 15 to 25 knots, you can make real good time heading down this direction. That's the joy of the Leeward Islands. Once you get past St. Martin and Saba, sailing is just pure joy. There's nothing like it. You don't have to adjust much of anything. I mean, a little bit adjustment here or there on the sails, and you're just flying. So after one day and one night and another day, we got another night. I had another night. I'm solo sailing over 4,000 miles so far and continue to solo sail. So I stay awake a lot. There are things that I can do, like the AIS will keep me informed. And on this night, I actually had a big tanker coming straight towards me at midnight, but I saw him. I got on the radio. I contacted him about 5 miles away, told him I was going a little to the port, and we would pass starboard to starboard. The captain acknowledged it, and we passed like two ships in the night, as the saying goes. Perfect. That's exactly what we're supposed to do. And in the morning, a little rougher seas, but a little more wind, or looking at 20 to 25 knots in part of this. So I made sure that my sails were rigged for 30 knots. So I had a little leeway there. You don't want to be adjusting things at the last minute. And then I hit the third night, pushing through 3 nights awake. Again, have things set. You can set perimeter alarms and things like that. You don't have to be absolutely awake the whole time, but yeah, you got to be somewhat alert. You have to be able to react. There's a interesting white zone in there where you're awake but you're not quite awake, and you can do that. And then got into Grenada. Now Grenada I was into 4 o'clock in the morning. I tried 3 different bays, couldn't get in, and this is St. David's Bay. Actually, it's the one next to it first. Little Bocalet. Realized I didn't really want to be in that bay, went out, came back into St. David's Bay. And St. David's Bay has a marina there. They have stores, they have boat parts, they have fuel, they have a restaurant. So it's a very nice little bay to go in. It's protected on 3 sides, very deep bay, so pretty much the waves are very small, wind is small, it's got high hills around it. This is the kind of place you want to look for. Now it is tricky coming into St. David. You have to go in at an angle, but once you're in here, this is actually seems a little farther than it really is because it's the wide angle lens of the GoPro. Once you get anchored, you got to go into St. George's. The customs office in St. David Bay has closed down, so you take a taxi into St. George's, and then this is the customs office. The taxi cab can tell you exactly where to go. And then I took my dinghy over because I saw some interesting stuff when I was in Little Bocalet. There was a boat that was wrecked there. There's an interesting rock formation, and there's a grotto over there. Now, one of the problems I have is because I'm solo sailing, I can't sail or run the dinghy and do everything myself at exactly the same time. Makes it a little difficult. But finally got in, had some food at the restaurant, and you know what? It's time for the sailor's tradition of the sundowner. Another perfect day while sailing.